So welcome. Introduction to why we're doing this, digitalization for the BPMs, BIMobject talks to the BPMs. We wanted to make a series where we kind of have topics in the digitalization, the BIM area concerning product content management.
Absolutely. There seems to be a lot of information out there, so hopefully we can provide some insight into why the BIMobject Cloud is really the platform for you to use as a building product manufacturer to get your products not only specified but even purchased and used in facilities.
Yeah, so this is episode 1. And before we go into today's topic, Steve, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Steve Holzer. I'm the product evangelist for BIMobject. Been here working with Stefan for a few years and involved in the digitalization for quite a few years within the global community.
25 kind of, right?
25. I'm not that old.
No, you're not. So I'm Stefan Larsson. I'm the founder and Chief Strategy Officer at the moment for BIMobject. Part of the board at BIMobject and obviously the innovator of most of the technology. Been in this industry since 1987, been through the whole CAD to BIM area, worked in many of the software companies of our industry globally, and also started several companies in this sphere. And in 2011 I started BIMobject, and basically, we are here now, Steve, right?
We are.
9 years down the line. So today's topic, Steve, what we're going to talk to about?
We're going to talk about the BIMobject Cloud. That BIMobject is a cloud-based platform, and a little bit of why, Stefan. I mean, you as the founder obviously had the vision many years ago when you started out, because it's always been a cloud platform. Why is it a cloud? What does that do for us? Because we have buzzwords today that I think confuse a lot of people, and we don't really know exactly what it means. So.
Yeah.
Give us the insight.
So I mean, in this episode we will not go too deep in technology talk. We will do that later in other episodes. We're going to talk about why it is a cloud platform and why it matters for users and for building product manufacturers. So basically, I mean, first of all, let's take it from where we developed it, and we were right on time when we developed BIMobject. A lot of competitors or partners out there, they were very early and they couldn't build it the way we have built it today because, the technology wasn't really there. And of course, the benefit of being a cloud platform is that you have the same technology for everybody. It's one big community platform and basically a fixed fee for the BPMs. They pay to use and subscribe to the services.
The BPMs being building product manufacturers.
Exactly.
What about users? I mean, they're not paying. That's my understanding.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, for the users, that's one of the reasons we built this platform as it is and based it on cloud, because they will have one consistent way of searching, browsing, finding components, and always the same consistent way of getting it into their modeling tool, which can be Revit, ArchiCAD, you name it, so they can use any tool they want, and that's also something which is good with cloud and the way we built the platform, that is sort of agnostic to what technology you have.
Yeah.
So for the users, I mean, it's ease of use. It's much faster, easier to find the right component you want and put it into your BIM model.
Yeah, for me personally, I'd like to highlight what you just said, that you mentioned file agnostic as opposed to being content for any specific software. Honestly, in my work with the U.S. National BIM Standard, that's how I met you.
Yeah.
We did some research and we were looking for places that we felt to enable this whole concept of digitalization, we had to have content that was real manufacturer content that also had all the metadata. So that's one of the things that brought me to BIMobject in the beginning, is that that's pretty unique. Would you agree? And there's not a lot of other places that you can find non-platform specific content?
I mean, going back to the why of a cloud is obviously when you build a cloud system, you build it for a community, for the industry.
Yeah.
We can invest huge amount of money in building the technology, and then of course you share the cost. So basically the industry share the cost. Today we have more than 1,600 BPMs on the platform. They all share the cost of development.
Yeah.
That means also that you share the knowledge, the know-how, and new tools, new technology that's put in. So all our efforts in supporting IFC, supporting other formats like 3D Studio, etc., that came underway. Still, as a BPM, you don't pay more for that; you pay the same. So it's more of a community understanding, like the way YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Spotify, these platforms are built up. It's the fact that you share knowledge, with a fixed fee. How would you do it otherwise? I mean, you would have to build your own, right?
Exactly.
I mean, if you were a BPM and you wouldn't use cloud solution like BIMobject, how would you do it, Steve?
Well, you make the great point, because there's a lot of building product manufacturers that have tried to develop their own and do develop their own. How do you see BIMobject, though, enhancing that, their presence beyond just having their own specific bespoke content platform?
I mean, if you have $1 million budget, Steve, and you have good traffic to your site.
I already spent mine. I don't have it.
No,
with
but
me today.
I mean, it's very costly. I mean, to go in today to develop platform solutions, it's very, very costly. There is a reason why the internet is today a platform universe, because you want to enjoy other, development that is already done, and you pay your little fee. So it's not only, to get the traffic, what we have generated, get whatever, 1.6 million users that is registered on our site, to get to them from a BPM perspective. You also get to the technology. You get all the return on investment on your fixed fee in getting all the maintenance, the updates, the things we do all the time. And we had for a month or so, we had a new relationship, right, with AEC Daily, which is kind of a good example of development. Can you explain what we do there?
Yeah, AEC Daily is a continuing education certification place. So it's everyone in the industry, whether you be for your architectural licensing process, or even in some cases mechanic certifications for air handlers and specific refrigeration, they require ongoing continuing education units to maintain their licensing. So with AEC Daily now, you're able to access, and as well as from the AEC Daily site, BIMobjects, and now we are sharing within the BIMobject platform specific learning units that are available for specific products within AEC Daily's platform. And I think that's
basically connecting the dots together. So if you find learning, you can find the products. If you have found the products, you can find the learning. Right?
Yes.
And of course, that's a thing where why BIMobject is a cloud, because when you get to a certain size, you get to that certain platform size, other platforms easily can integrate with you. Mm-hmm. And of course, so you enjoy that synergy effects between different type of data mining and data sets, and you put the two together. And obviously doing that bespoke, doing that on your own website is, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's extremely cumbersome to try to connect all these kind of things and keep up to date with today's partnerships and technology.
Well, we're able to do that, instead of doing it one-to-one with our own, as a building product manufacturer would have to do, we're able to do it 1,400 to 1,400 essentially. So, you mentioned one of the things about the cost. Well, the return on investment that is achieved out of a manufacturer being on our site is every one of these relationships we develop, or every one of the updates, every one of the additional features that we bring in it just becomes a built-in part of the return that they're getting.
Exactly.
I think that's important.
I mean, it's basically you pay a subscription, which is a fixed fee. And I mean, you can go to your CFO, you maybe are a CFO, you're a CEO for a company, you have your budgets, you know that this is the amount of money I pay for using this kind of technology. If you're going to develop that yourself using outsourcing or your own internal team, whatever, I mean, go in and be honest with yourself. How much does it cost to develop such a system by yourself? it's not sustainable. You know, it is not sustainable. So we're really happy we chose this path. And of course, I think to finalize and summarize the thing, Steve, I mean, looking from a user perspective, we talked a little bit about the fact that, you know, they get one way of searching and so on, but it's more than that, right? I mean, you have one login, you know, you have the same searching capabilities, you have all content in one place, you can compare, you know.
There's also, I think, you know, real important for the users that they may not know or understand at this time is all types of users, not just early designers downloading content, but even later on, folks in the construction process are able to access additional information for, you know, off this cloud platform. So it is one interface, no matter what your role in the industry, really. Exactly. And that opens that same interface up to all the building product manufacturers. Participants, you know, in the products, you know, getting them purchased, getting them installed, getting them used in buildings and facilities. So
I mean, we make it easy for the users to find content. They're one place. They don't need to jump around different websites, different login, different downloads, different file formats, etc. So I mean, it's a way to simplify the whole thing, and we mine the data, we work with the data. We see to that it keeps the industrial standards, what is needed, both from file format and classifications and codes and etc. And just make it work.
Yeah, you know? Well, even internet compliance. I mean, last year we had a pretty big shift with the GDPR, and so we were able to update that for every one of the building product manufacturers without them having to go in individually and manage it. So that really speaks big example of how we can leverage the cloud in a single source here, and we'll talk about that more in future.
Yeah, we will. Okay, so that summarized the whole thing. So you know, fixed cost versus having everything on your own site, and we will have some other episodes where we obviously will show how content actually can be on your own site too. Obviously, there is a lot of different tools that BIMobject have in its portfolio. But this is the clear reasons why we have done it this way.
And we'll be making some deeper dives into some of these specific points and give you example of how the tools are used in an upcoming video. So stay tuned for more.
That was it for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks.
Bye.